Hey everybody, it is Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your Akashic Records expert and energy shift advisor. I so totally feel like I should be the energy shift expert by now, but I'm still learning, as you know. All right, thank you everybody for joining, and I appreciate, as always, if somebody could give me a thumbs up just to let me know that we can hear tonight, that the audio is on. I would super duper appreciate it. And while I'm waiting for that, please remember that if you're here, oh good, everybody thumbs up, thank you. If you're here on Facebook and you're seeing my video, go right up here and it says Deanna Floyd, because I know there's a watch page. And so then you go and click on that and it'll take you over to my page in Facebook, and you click on follow, and then make sure your notifications are turned on. And every time I go up live, it'll pop up and say, hey, Deanna's on live. The intended outcome is 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, but sometimes it's a little later. So these energy shifts, oh my goodness, crazy, crazy, crazy. And they dropped in my lap at 4:30 today. So I had to do some rearranging and change a few things here and there. Yeah, so I'm sure your life is feeling like that too. Anyway, welcome aboard everybody. Big hugs and kisses. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them down here in the feed. If you are on YouTube, I check my feed about once a week. So if you have a question or a comment, if you love this or hate this, I've had some haters lately, that's fine. Just go ahead and post it down here. At least I know how you feel and you get it off your chest. So let's see who all's watching so far, and welcome some people aboard. Let's see, we have Rochelle and Barbara and Brenda. Thank you so much for watching. Brenda, yes, nice to see you too. Let's see here. And Mara, nice to see you. And Barb, it's nice to see you. So big hugs and kisses to all of those of you joining now and later. Let me tell you what's on tonight's agenda, so you'll have an idea of what we're going to talk about, and then you can ask questions right down here, because I'm going to push some hot buttons like I did 3 times ago. Again, I try to stay neutral because I realize there's a big play, big drama that's unfolding here in our world, in planet Earth, and to reach as many people as possible, I do try to stay narrow. Narrow is the way, narrow is the focus, because it is your divine self and your soul that most concerns me. So we're going to cover the new moon. We're going to talk about Saturn and Jupiter. Remember, those are the 2 planets that locked in place to start the age of Aquarius. Where are they now? What's happening? Then we are going to talk a little bit about the roadblocks. We have fires, and we have floods, and we have fear all over the place, and that affects our collective consciousness. And there's some strategies you can use right now to help you to alleviate some of the fears. Fear is a real thing in our minds, but it's not always a real thing in the 3D world. Then we are going to talk a little bit about what energy to use to lift yourself up, and how some doors in your life are closing. We're going to talk a little bit about the high-pitched whine and the training. So welcome aboard, everybody. Looks like we have a few more people joining us, so that's great. Anyway, super big breath. Today is September 7th, 2021. I don't know about you, but I feel like this year we should close the door on it and be done already. But wait, there's more. Anyway, so I was talking to my guides a little bit before I came on, and they reminded me that we had a new moon September 6th. So the new moon is an energy that pours in. It just really helps to create or flesh things out, at least in my world. And the new moon helps us to open doors we may not want to. If you've ever seen the videos of they teaching you how to get out of a car, if it's sunk down in water and you can't get the window to roll down, then if you can't get that window to roll down, you've got to ease that door open, and the pressure of the water is so great on the outside. You got to open it and let it fill up, and the water fills up, and then it gets up to about your nose, and you got to take a breath, and then when the car fills with water, you can open the door more easily. That, my lovelies, is about where we are with the energies right now. So your life may feel like it's filling up with fear. It may be filling up with all kinds of things and triggers from your childhood, triggers from past relationships, all kinds of stuff coming up. Remember, this is only a test. It's just a test. So we're inside of this car and we've fallen into the water for whatever reason. And the car's sinking and you can't get the windows to roll down because they're schmegging electric and not cranks anymore. So you got to find a way to get some water in that car and let it come in, and it's going to be scary. So what am I saying? You're like, Deanna, come on, what are you saying? What I'm saying is right now in your life, almost every angle, every aspect has stuff that you've landed in the middle of and you feel like it's surrounding you. Negative energy everywhere. And you're like, I'm safe in my bubble. I'm safe in my car, in my bubble. No, that oxygen's only going to last so long. And then you got to get out and swim to the top. That's what these energies are about. I'm going to ask you for a little love. If you could just put a heart down here for me or a thumbs up, let me know that that's where you're at. Because I don't always know where everyone's at and what they're feeling. But that's pretty much what's on the horizon right now. That's where the energies are. That's where the energies are shifting. Oh, good, I'm getting a few hearts. So some of you are identifying. So let's talk about the positive side of this. What is positive about once the car fills up, you take your last gulp of air, you open the door easily and you start swimming to the top. What you're swimming through are old issues that you thought you had closed the door on, thrown away, resolved, and you were good. Good. And now these things are popping up and you find out you're not good. And there's still some instability in your emotions. That's energy in motion, emotions. And emotions come from your thoughts. And your thoughts come from the mindset that was put in there from the time you were conceived until about age 7, sometimes age 8. And whatever happened to you in that time period, your frontal lobe took in and in and in and in and in, and it couldn't say no to anything. So it just took it all in. If you had a lot of trauma or maybe a parent that wasn't stellar, your little mind's trying to figure it out and it can't figure it out. So it must be you. You must be the problem. Otherwise, mom and dad or stepmom, stepdad will be happy. No. So that's what's back here. And so now there are life-changing events going on this planet everywhere. And they're affecting a lot of folks. And there's a lot of fear. There's fear of shortages. So here comes the little ticker tape across the bottom to know that I'm going to talk about some trigger subjects, some subjects that are going to flare some people up. Like I said, I had somebody write me on YouTube that I didn't post it because they were very angry with what I had to say. They thought I was a Karen, but I'm talking from the heart. I'm telling you what I see. I'm talking to God, Spirit, Source, my angels and guides, and I do the best I can to deliver to you in real time what's happening on this planet. My job is not to deliver fear. I'm not a Pollyanna. I'm telling you what I see. I'm telling you what I see as truth. But my truth and your truth could be 2 different truths. Or if there's 87 people watching, it could be 87 different truths or 89. So what I'm saying to you is that anything I tell you, pray about it, meditate on it, douse it, connect with it. If it doesn't work for you, toss it out. But right now, your divine spiritual self inhabiting a carbon body is in the middle of a world that's changing, transforming, and becoming different. So no matter which side of the road that you stand on, you are still human. You are still experiencing this world. You are still learning. You are still growing. And whatever choice you make, you will experience the results of that choice. It's that simple. And right now, where we are in time and space, there are other people making decisions for us and taking away some of our freedoms by the choices that they make. And so our world gets smaller in our ability to make decisions in our own personal lives. What do you do with that? How do you handle that? I'm going to encourage you to move past fear and connect with God's Spirit or Source. Ask for what you desire and give gratitude that you've already received it. Now I have been asked, Deanna, what about the people in the flood in New York? Maybe the waters came up too fast. They were lost. They lost loved ones. They had no food. They have no fresh water. They have no electric. What are they supposed to do? They are to trust God, Spirit, Source, to pray the best they can, meditate, and ask for what they need and know that it is coming. The frequency of love will bring them things faster than not love. Does that mean they'll have electric back in 2 days? Maybe not. But that means whatever they need will be provided for. Their needs will be met. The universe will bring them what they need as they need it. And sometimes before they know they need it. Again, this is trigger issues. Some people get triggered over this, but it is true. I am an energy shift advisor. I have seen energy work for years. I've had my own energy in motion, my own emotions take me in a direction that I didn't like. I've also had times where it's taken me in a direction that was so wonderful, I couldn't believe it. Things came to me easily, effortlessly, even from places I wasn't expecting. So energy is everything. Everything is energy. You may not be able to pull back the tides of water. You may not be able to put a fire out instantly, but you can be in charge of your personal self. Your emotions, how you respond, and where your mindset is. This is the truth. Jesus said, narrow is the way. That is the way. Okay, I'm going to switch subjects. So, for those of you that are highly sensitive, empaths, or starseeds, you may be hearing or have heard a high-pitched whine or a twill in your ears, really high pitch. And some people, the doctors, will say that it's tinnitus or tinnitus. And that means you've had some damage to your ear. Perhaps you were, next to a loud booming noise or spent too many years at rock concerts. But if that is not the case for you, then you have a divine gift. God's Spirit or Source is calling you to a higher frequency or a hive. So if you have that high-pitched whine every once in a while, once a week, or if you hear it 2/3 of your day or all day long like I do, it will change octaves, by the way. I don't know that tinnitus does that. I'd like for you, if you're experiencing that, I'd like for you to be able to access your divinity, your divine gifts. There's only one other woman that I know of on the internet, my research, who's talking about the high-pitched whine, but nobody is teaching you how to access it, how to understand what's there, and how to utilize the information you're given. This is leading edge. So if your desire is to be on the leading edge and you're like, I'm afraid I don't know what to expect, here's what to expect. You signed up for the class. We had our first class already. Tomorrow night's our second one. As soon as you sign up, I'll send you the recording so you can get caught up. The class is on Zoom. There's no Facebook group. You'll be sent the recordings if you don't make the class. I will email you a page, a web page that I have set up with all the information on it as it's available. So all you have to do is go to that web page and put in the password. And when we get together tomorrow night, we are going to focus on that sound. And if you say, oh, Deanna, I don't have it all the time, should I really take the class? Yes, if you feel moved to do so. Because that frequency is like a piano, different tones. And each tone, each frequency delivers a message, sometimes physical healing. It is a wealth of information that belongs to God's spirit or source that was put here at this time to help starseeds, empaths, highly sensitive people to get through this. You can get through it on your own. You don't need to take the class. But if you take the class, it's going to be so much easier for you to access what's happening. You know, go into your heart, go into your mind and say, you know, do I really want to take this? Sit with yourself for a while. And if you feel that urge, that compulsion, then by all means sign up. If you don't sign up. Because this is huge information. It's big. Not everybody can handle it. Not everybody's ready to open their mind and their heart to a larger possibility than the 3D environment they currently live in. So for those of you that have that, don't sign up. It will not serve you. Okay. I'm going to switch subjects again. This time I'm going to go over and say hello to a few people. Then we're going to come back and talk about the new moon, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury. So let's see who else watching here. Okay, what have we got? Hi to Barb, hi to Stephen. Stephen, nice to have you aboard. Hi Todd, hey Todd, nice to have you aboard. Let's see, Genesis, nice to have you aboard. Raven, good to see you. Let's see here. Angie, nice to see you. So that looks like I've got everybody so far. Now, if you know anybody who really needs this message, then I'm going to ask you to share this video. Share, share, share. Because we've got to get the word out for all these people that are in fear, that are worried about things like, okay, trigger points, people. Here comes trigger points. So if you're triggery, put your fingers in your ear. There, because of the flood, because of the hurricane, people are sending supplies to the people in need because they don't have electricity, they don't have fresh drinking water. So when COVID came around, a lot of people quit producing, you know, because they couldn't go to the factories and et cetera, and they went through their backstops. So now the supply chains are a little bit thinner than they used to be. And that drives panic and that drives fear. If we all stay calm, if we all do what we can do, then things will go in a good direction. So I would ask you to pray, meditate, or talk to God's Spirit Source, and ask for things to be given to us as needed. A factory to open back up and start bottling water, or a generator company to make more generators, or whatever's needed. The other thing I'd like for you to think about is gas prices. I don't know about you, but during COVID, gas prices were $1.30 in my neighborhood, $1.39, I think. And there hasn't been any more or less gas, oil production. It's pretty much maintained, except for their doing the hacking or whatever it is, where they go in the ground and pull out underground oil. But yet the gas prices have gone up 3 times, 4 times that. Think about that. Who's shaping the reality? Okay, trigger point done. So let's talk about the rough couple of days that Deborah's talking about. All right, so here is the energy shift update. Remember that we have bioelectromagnetic bodies, okay? Bioelectromagnetic bodies. The moon shifts the ocean tide. This is science, people. And the ocean is salt, water, and electric. So when the planets move by the grand design of the creator source of all, it shifts the frequencies on the planet. It shifts how our bodies receive information. It shifts how we experience life. That makes sense to you? Thumbs up will do, or a smiley face. If you think that I am off my rocker, angry face. Go ahead. Okay, a few of you were brave enough to step up. Did that or your information overload? One, oh, face. All right, there's a thumbs up. All right. So, oh, I got a smiley face. Okay, good. I know this is a very serious subject tonight, but again, the boss tells me I've got to get this information out. So please share the video. If you know somebody who's highly sensitive, empathic, starseed, somebody who feels all the pain of the world and just sits home in high levels of anxiety and they can't move, or someone who hears the high-pitched whine, or they feel like they have a calling inside and they just don't know what to do, that would be here, okay? Free, share the video. All right, so the new moon came around September the 6th. That was yesterday. Today's 9/7/2021. And the new moon brings in fresh energies. It really is kind of like opening up your window on a spring morning and smelling the beautiful grass and the flowers if you don't have allergies. It's a joy. So the age of Aquarius, when it happened, we had 2 planets lock in place. Age of Aquarius, you've got the malefic and the benefic. So the good guy and the bad guy, or the positive energy and the negative energy. You have Saturn and you have Jupiter, and they locked in place, and they're going to stay that way for a while. And while they're doing their dance, we're going to be in the age of Aquarius. Right now, Saturn is in alignment with Aquarius. And Aquarius is the water sign. It's a flowing sign, things changing, things moving. If you've ever seen a river near an old-time logging company, they would put the logs in the river to move them downstream, and the logs sometimes get bunched up and they had to move them and all that. That's your life right now. Your life is moving and changing and shifting and growing. And if you're hanging on to the way things used to be, you're going to get some bloody knuckles, honey. Bloody, bloody, bloody. Turn loose. And you say, but Deanna, I can't because, you know, I was raised like this when I was a child. Been there. I experienced this growing up and I experienced this in a relationship. And so I just can't do this, that, or the other thing. Been there. Change for the human mind is not as easy as one might think. The human mind gets programmed early in life and it likes to stay there and it thinks it's safe there. So your human mind will propel you to do things that aren't safe for you right now. And that causes anxiety. If you are in a lower vibration, if you're feeling pain, if you're having anxieties and phobias, get some help. Call me. You know, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on appointments. Let's get together. What's happening is these energies are flowing and they're asking us to turn loose of those old behaviors. And if you do it one step at a time, write it out, mark it off for every day you do it. It's going to be a lot easier than trying to change everything at once. But that's what it feels like. I wanted to change everything at once today. I wanted to do this, 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 and this. You know, things that would take me weeks or months to do. So you get frustrated and you're like, well, I won't do any of it. No. Right now is the time to make that list, make a chart, you know, whatever way you can. Put it on your phone and make step-by-step incremental changes forward. Get some information, educate yourself, get a coach, get a minister, get an energy shift worker, you know, something to help you move forward and stay on target step by step, little by little, every single day. Now, Jupiter, let's see where Jupiter is. Okay, so Jupiter's in Aquarius right now. And it's, the funny thing is that it's in the declination is 12 degrees. And I think it's funny because it's 1-2, you know, I told you that's the building of things. And then Saturn, let's see where Saturn is. Just a second, I had Saturn a minute ago. Oh, here it is. Saturn is in the constellation of Sagittarius. Sages love to sting. You know, sorry, Sages, don't mean to offend you. You like to sting. You like to sting to get things done. You like to sting to end things. You know, if a Sagittarius is your best friend, that's great. But if they're your enemy, watch out, because they like to take care of things pretty snappy and they're not shy about it. But right now it's at declination 2-2. Notice the twos. So twos represent event horizon, or event horizons. So you have 0, 1, and then the line going across is an event horizon. So my question to all of you is, what are you doing? What event horizon are you creating? What are you creating in your life? Are you creating fear? Are you creating love? Are you creating peace, centeredness? Okay, so here's a simple tool. Let me go back over here to Facebook. You know that I endeavor to talk to you all about what I put on the headers for these things. So here we go. Okay. Header says, flooding, fires, and fear. Are you ready? Okay, relationships are juicy. Why are they juicy right now? Because Neptune, Uranus, Venus are in retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde on the 27th. Retrograde is about, here's the energy coming forward. It's like, woo, let's pull back a little bit. Here's the energy going forward. Woo, it creates tension, right? And that's why your life maybe feel like you're on the inside of the car and all the water flooding in, because there's tension on the outside pressuring you. You only have so much time. You only have so much oxygen before you got to pop that door open, let enough water in to equalize the pressure and get out. And right now, there's a lot of relationships where people are getting out. There's some of us that are in previous relationships that were tied by kids. And we'd like to get out because we ended it a long time ago because it wasn't working. And the universe is so funny because it's like, oh, here's some other issues. You two need to work together to work through. And the other person's like, oh, I don't think so. I don't have anything to do with it. And so you get all the pressure because the other person doesn't want to deal with it. And there's nothing you can do. Not a happy situation. There are relationships with jobs right now where people are in a job, they feel stuck. They're doing a good job, they enjoy their job, but there's pressures from other people in the office that are acting like they're all that. Maybe they're bossy, maybe they're bullying, maybe they're just a-holes. And you're working that job and you like that job except for that. You want to get out. You're like, should I or shouldn't I? You know, where's the economy going to go? Again, ask God, Spirit, or Source to help you. But that's what's going on. The relationships are juicy. It's not a do or die situation. That's not a snap it in half and we're done. Never look back, you know. It's got a lot of juice in it. So look at those relationships. What are they presenting you? Why are they presenting you? What position can you stand in your life to remain centered and balanced? And if you don't know, or you're tired, or you're exhausted, then I'm going to invite you to do two things. One, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on sessions, and there's two different kinds. You can pick them and get right on my calendar, and we'll meet together. We'll clear the energies around it. We'll find out, how many times you've done that before, what's left over. Is there a tie between you and the other person? Is there a bond? Is there a contract? Is there an allegiance, an alliance that you had at some other time that's pulling you into play with them during this time to work those things out? And can we clear that energy so that you don't have to deal with it in this life, or it's made smaller? Okay. That's what energy clearings do. We go in, we look in your Akashic records, your book of life, your game plan, find out what's holding you back from being and doing what you want to do, get rid of that energy, educate your soul, and make this life so much easier for you. And why not? Second opportunity, Thursday, I'll be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver. That's 303-964-9339. So you can call the bookstore during regular business hours. I guess like 10 to 5, 10 to 6 Mountain Time, and make an appointment for Thursday. If you need a little discount, if you're having some trouble, or you could just use a little discount, you can get about $20 off a regular session price on Friday. This coming up Friday. Today's 9/7/2021. Put it on your calendar to call tomorrow morning, first thing, before they all fill up. My Fridays usually fill up pretty fast, so you won't want to miss out. All right, moving right along. Okay, so we have Neptune, Uranus in retrograde. We have Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn and Jupiter is the one that started the age of Aquarius, and they locked in place, the happy and the not so happy. And they're locked in place. Now they're in retrograde. So you got the two ruling planets of this age that are not only pulling and pushing on each other, but now they're pulling back on us at the same time. Talk about gaps. That's the proverbial opening the door up and all the water's rushing in and you're getting ready to take your last breath before you have to tuck and go out. And I'm going to strongly recommend that you get this done before December 19th, because Venus will then go into retrograde. And if I'm not mistaken, Mercury goes into retrograde on the 27th. So retrograde is pulling back on a lot of things, and it'll either snap or new things will come in and fill up the old space. So I don't know which one you are. But look at any setbacks, roadblocks, and think, what can make this better? What setback have I had that maybe is an opening for more divine blessings? I certainly do not like the idea of people being involved in floods or hurricanes or even fires. And it hurts to lose everything, all your possessions, your house, maybe a loved one. And I've been there. It sucks. You feel violated at levels that are indescribable. You left your home, everything is wonderful, your favorite this, your favorite that, your routine. Routine's the most important. And a flood comes along, a hurricane comes along, fire comes along, takes away everything. And now you're dependent on other people. So ask God, Spirit, or Source to open your heart and receive the love, the giving, the caring of the rest of loving, caring humanity. Because people generally like to give. heard that years ago from one of my good friends. She said, people love to give. And at that time in my life, I couldn't see it, but I can now. So if you're in that position, open your heart. Allow God's Spirit or Source to fill your life with the people that are going to lift you up, take care of you, help you to transform your lives. Open new doors. All right, if you have any questions, I'm going to change subjects on you again. And if you have any questions, please post them down below. I don't see any. Again, please share this video with like-minded people to let them know what's happening. There's lots of changes, and there's going to continue to be a lot of changes. And it just depends on how you handle them. So the best way to find your balance and your center is to daily talk to God's Spirit or Source, Earth Mother, however you're oriented, and ask to be shown the way. Open your heart and send angels to those that need them, that have lost everything. Ask for them to be supported, to be loved, and know that your voice is heard because it's a part of the frequency of the hive. And if you would like to be on the leading edge in my first class of understanding the high pitch whine, how it relates to you, what messages you can get from it, what healing you can get from it, you know, what's in there. Each person that has that high pitch whine in their ears gets a different message, a different tonality. And I found out when I wrote out the first supporting docs for the first class, I'm going to be teaching an advanced class, so there's still more to learn. But if you go over to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on high pitch whine, scroll down a little bit and listen, and there's a video. The first one I relate to, and the third one, and so the first one will be that way, and then it'll change over to other things. Sometimes I get an extra 12. Sometimes I have the high pitch whine and I get an extra 12, and it'll dawn on me what it is, what needs to be done. As soon as I do it, it goes away. So this is a great opportunity to expand yourself, to join us that are already on the class. You can get the recording, and no problem, you can still get in, and you'll in the second class you'll still understand what's happening. And just stay as centered as you can. Recognize your own poop. Decide what you're going to work on first. I know I have a list. I know that the human mind is slow to change, but step by step by step by step by step, incremental changes. That's all it takes. And please, please know that you are never, ever alone. Even if you're sitting in a room physically all by yourself, you are never, ever alone. God, Spirit, or Source, the angels, other beings are always with you constantly. The Bible actually talks about one young man that was told to go into battle. And if I'm not mistaken, his men were 1/3 of the men they would be facing. Absolute suicide for those times. But the angel of the Lord spoke to him and said, "Go and you shall be victorious." And the man doubted, but instead of doubting, he said, "Show me. Show me why I should go into battle. Who will protect me?" And at that moment, oh, this is a loose paraphrase, by the way. At that moment, the man saw a vision of all the mighty angels that were there, all of them. And he was overwhelmed and fell on his face. And then they cloaked themselves again. So they're there. They're written about in the Bible if that helps you. I've seen them personally, standing in my office sometimes. When I'm working with my clients, their guardian angels will often come and I will see them. It's a wonderful world we live in. It's just a little dicey right now. So again, I humbly ask you to make the decision now to join me with the high pitch wine training. If you're hearing that twill, if you don't know, go onto the high pitch wine training on the website, click, and you can hear the different ones. See if that relates to you. I had two beautiful women reach out to me and say that they saw me on the last video fixing it so that you all could join, and they tried to join and couldn't. So what happened is I have one registration day, and if you don't register before that day, it wouldn't let people register after. So I've gone in and opened it up for the class coming up. So you can still register for tomorrow night. So that is open. So in case you missed it, just know that I've opened it so that you can register without being restricted, and then you can catch up with everything in the room that's designed for that, for the web page. You'll receive an email with that link and the password. If you're struggling right now and you're upside down and you don't know what's happening and just feel defeated, stuck, please reach out to me either on my website at toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click on sessions, a half-hour session. It's the smallest one I have, and we can get in and get some stuff done, realign you to your guides, help you to hear God's spirit or source again. Or you can come to the For Heaven's Sakes books on Thursday or Friday. And Friday is Fair Friday, so they have discounts on the products that they're selling, as well as discounted sessions with the practitioners. And that number is 303-964-9339. So my lovelies, that is it for tonight. I love each and every one of you. Reach out if you need to. Send me a private message. You can message me here on Facebook. You can go over to my website and click on About and find a way to email me there. I'm always here for you. You know, I'm usually here Monday through Friday, and last weekend I did take 4 days unplugged off, which was amazing. No internet, no TV, no nothing. So not even a cell phone. So that was nice for 4 days just to unplug. But I'm generally here Monday through Friday every week. And I'm more than happy to help you find your center, find your balance, discover what's happening in your love life, why a certain job isn't working, all those kind of things. So have a great and wonderful night. Big hugs and kisses.